Today we're talking a little bit about joint mobility as a part of our Catholic calisthenics and mobility series. Joint mobility comes into play, as we've discussed, as mobilizing each joint. All right. So we're trying to improve what we call the arthrokinematics. All right. Arthro is articulation, where two bones articulate, or three bones or four bones articulate. And then what is the movement? What are the movement mechanics of those joints coming together? That's the kinematics point. All right. So if we talk about the ankle joint, here's your ankle joint. Here's your right ankle joint. All right. So this is your ankle bone on the outside. That ankle bone on the outside, if you tap that bone there, that we call your malleolus, that's actually the extension of this bone that goes all the way up to your knee. In the knee joint mobility video, we talked about the importance of this moving around here, which is also going to assist in your ankle mobility and health. All right, your medial, your inside ankle bone, is actually your shin bone. It's your tibia. Okay, a lot of ligaments come off of this, a lot of stability there. So you have four bones that make up the ankle joint. You have your tibia, this is the back, and then your fibula. But then you also have this bone in the middle, this little rectangular funky bone called the talus. That's a very important bone for ankle health. That slides back and forth. If athletics you hear about a high ankle sprain, what happens is that you tear ligaments between these two bones, and that talus gets moving around a little bit. We have some issues there. Then in back, you have your heel bone, your calcaneus. All right, so these four bones allow you to get what we call plantar flexion and dorsiflexion, just for normal walking upstairs. And also, this model doesn't do it, but it helps us kind of rotate in and out. Okay, like if you're going to roll your ankle, you need that mobility. So we're going to talk about all that mobility with just a simple exercise or two. All right. So this joint mobility is so important. It's part of our flexibility and mobility training. Okay, we've talked about this in the past that we do flexibility for two reasons. One is we want to feel better, or we want to improve a movement pattern, right? So a pattern, something like a genuflect or a squat or a bow, a push-up, those are all movement patterns. So if you can't do a push-up because your shoulder hurts, well, we got to say, well, if you can't do this entire movement pattern, we have to look at your shoulder joint and see what's going on with the arthrokinematics, your joint mechanics of your shoulder. So today we're talking about the ankle. So if you're having a hard time walking steps, maybe you're tripping over some gumballs, or you have a hard time picking up your foot all the way, maybe you don't have a lot of push off your foot, maybe you want to jump higher, run faster, or run at all. You need some healthy joint mechanics up and down like that, and that's what we're going to talk about. So you can't just build strength in your joints, you need some good mobility. So what we're going to do, now we did this position for the knee like this. You could do something similar. You can lay back. Sometimes I lay all the way back and just kind of hold this position here. So I'll kind of do that just so you see my foot more or less. So what we want to do is first is if you've ever had an ankle sprain before, you may have been prescribed like the alphabet exercise where you use your big toe and you're going to like write the letters of the alphabet. That's something you can do. All right, a big capital B, a big C. All right. For now, let's just do big circles. And what I want you to be aware of is you're drawing a big, deliberate circle, right? You're not just doing, okay, this is fine, one way, the other way. No, do a big ankle rotation. How big of a circle can you draw? And does it get shaky at all? Do you begin to shake at all? Do you miss a corner? Do you miss a section of that circle? Let's do clockwise and then counterclockwise. Catholic Fit workouts in training, we do 7 repetitions every time. So if we do 7 clockwise and then 7 counterclockwise, who have you forgiven lately? And have you forgiven them 7 times? All right, big rotation there. So if you're doing this correctly, now I feel some of the muscles and the tendons in my ankle joint and my foot. I mean, just past ankle sprains, all kinds of stuff talking to me. That's what I want. I want that kind of movement as I go around. Big circles one way, big circles the other way. Okay, do this sitting, do this at your chair, do this at your desk. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be on the floor like I am now. All right, so big rotations both ways. Then what we're going to do is we're going to just work on turning your heel out and then in. So if like from here out and then in like this. So out. All right, and so you're going to try to leave it like with your pinky side out. And then your heel as you come in. So pull your pinky side and heel out and then in. And then after you do that, let's say 7 both ways. All right, so a few more. Again, I feel these muscles, all right? My fibularis muscles, my peroneal muscles here. I feel the attachment of those muscles in my foot, so that's all good stuff. Just kind of waking up, activating some of those muscles, letting them know you're thinking about them. All right. If you've been wearing shoes and you haven't been doing some of this movement, this will compromise your balance, your athletic performance. This will compromise quite a bit. All right. Now, what we're going to do then is after we've done our circles, we've done our left to right inversion, eversion exercises. Now what we're going to do is I want to evert as far as I can. So turn my heel out. I'm going to dorsiflex as far as I can, and then go roll ankle in, and then plantar flex down. So it's kind of like a little horseshoe. So I'm going to turn out, pull my toes, my pinky toes back towards my shin. Then I'm going to roll my ankle in, and then pull or point my toe out as far as I can. Then I'm going to roll it in, pull back up, over, and then down. So again, I'm just forming this big, like upside down U, over and down. Up, up, out to the side, over and down. All right, and I should feel that. You should feel that, especially up and down the side. You may feel deep inside your ankle joint. But we call these, they've been called different things, CARS, C-A-R-S, controlled articular rotations. They're mindful, they're control, okay? And so we're just trying to work on our motor control, our mind to body link here, right? And then there are articulations, meaning they're at the joint articulations. And then they are rotations. We're just trying to do rotations one way or the other way, all right? So the past one we did knees and ankles. That one alone should really feel good. Then, I'll leave the camera for a second, but then if you then do an exercise here, whether you're doing a calf raise, whether you're practicing walking on your heels, doing some of the Catholic Fit agility and calisthenics we've done, this should feel a little better, okay? If I go into a genuflect, watch. If I step back, I have to look at all the ankle bend, the knee bend, the toe bend, all these things that need to occur here. All right, do I have good ankle bend? See, my ankle is at 90 degrees. I need quite a bit more of that just to walk up and down stairs, etc. All right, so I can just kind of test this now. How does my ankle feel? Feels pretty good in that position. I can switch sides. This is a great balance exercise to do, just to be on one knee like this. All right, forward and backwards. How does my ankle feel on this side? Good. And then come back up. All right, so I can turn out, do some light heel raises. Ankles feel pretty good there. I can turn in, do some heel raises here. Good. All right, and then one last one for your ankles. Go try this in your socks, is to sit back and see, can you sit down and plantar flex your ankles and stretch your ankles the other way. We always think of stretching your ankles by putting your foot up on something, but it's just as important that we sit on our ankles like this as well. Or again, just kind of rock back into this and see, can you get a little bit of that stretching your ankles? Because as long as you can, I'm really pushing my toes out as I rock back, all right? So this is a nice, after doing that knee mobility and then after doing the ankle mobility, this is just a nice way to say, well, how do my knees and ankles feel this way? I can pull my toes underneath me and rock like this. We call this quadruped rocking, okay? Quadruped, I'm on hands and knees, and I'm just kind of testing my ankles and knees out, which is a great way to do that before you actually get into squatting. All right, even standing it from your pew at church can be a lot on your ankles and your knees, as you know. So to be on the floor like this, you can just kind of go into these things and feel them out. All right, so there's your ankle mobility. There are so many alternatives to yoga, especially that's been discussed a lot lately. Let's keep talking about them. All right, let's work on your Catholic calisthenics. Let's work on your joint mobility so then we can bring them all together to form healthier, stronger patterns of movement. Squatting, lunging, genuflecting, bowing, hinging, pushing, pulling, rolling, crawling, playing with your kids on the floor, getting down on the floor with your grandkids. All wonderful patterns that we want to improve and want to maintain, all right, for as long as we can. All right, God bless you. Keep moving, take care of your body. Your body is your vehicle of your mission, all right? Our mission is to serve others. Let's stay fit to serve, and I'll see you next time.